Hello, welcome to MCU Mondays, the show where we talk all about the MCU on Monday. We're here as usual, myself and my co-host Debbie, joined as we often are by David, right down there below. Debbie, how are you today?
I'm good. Weather's good till Thursday, and I love Ant-Man. I love Paul Rudd. He's so adorable. I'm excited to talk about him.
He is funny guy. That is something I remembered when I was rewatching some Ant-Man. Was just like, what a goof, what a nut. Just goofing around the entire time, having a good time, and that really makes his interaction with his daughter that much more fun. But unfortunately, we're never going to see her again because he was missing during the snap, and now there's a new actress because his daughter had to grow up while he was away. But anyway, we'll talk more about that in a minute. David, how are you today, sir?
Good. We got doing thunderstorms rolling through, but we're good. Yeah.
Look out. All right. And David, of course, is also the host of the Star Wars show, the Cantina Happy Hour. That is every Thursday night, same time, different night, different subject. Monday nights, we talk about the MCU. Thursday nights, you can check out the Cantina Happy Hour, where they talk all about Star Wars. And this week, you're talking about Empire Strikes Back.
Empire.
The best Star Wars movie.
Arguably the best Star Wars movie.
Yeah, and that's what I would argue. There is no argument. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Debbie.
We're gonna have a spirited debate.
That's Thursday.
Spirited debate this Thursday on Empire Strikes Back, the best Star Wars movie. That's what some people will be arguing, the right people, and other people will be saying some other kind of nonsense.
And everybody else will be wrong.
Yeah. And that's fine. That's your right as an American to believe stupid crap. All right? That's fine. But Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars movie. Anyway, Thursday night is for that. Tonight is for the Ant-Man. But before we get into it, I was about to put the song on. But before we do that, I'm going to mention that we are having a giveaway. And it's Star Wars themed, so that fits in. Yeah. There's a giveaway over on Geek News Now. Look, there's the website. That's actually the Facebook page, but the first thing you see on the Facebook page is the giveaway. All you have to do is click on that, and it gives you different ways to win that Lego set. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. Just click the link, and you can find it. The link is also in the description of this video, so there's no excuse for you not to be able to find this link. I have provided it for you several ways and even given you a visual cue. You cannot blame me at this point if you can't find the giveaway. Now then, everything out of the way, let's take it over to our theme song guy so we can have it, which is me, and we can have our theme song.
Theme song guy.
Oh, yeah!
So who the hell are you? I'm Ant-Man.
Ant-Man?
What, you haven't heard of me? No, you wouldn't have heard of me. That was a lot scarier for a second.
We had a dream we'd go traveling together. We'd spread a little love and then we'd keep moving on.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I couldn't really put any more.
Yeah. He was dancing.
He was dancing.
Brings back memories
for
me. Partridge Family.
Brings back memories of Ant-Man for me, but
well, you might be a little young, Chris.
Literal. No, I remember that show. It was actually my mom really liked that show.
My mom made me watch it.
No, she loves singing. I didn't.
Thanks a lot.
She didn't make me.
That.
What do you want? What do you want? Wanted me to lie? Oh yeah, I remember back in 1992 when the Partridge Family was coming out. Yeah. Jeez, get all ageist on me. All right, Ant-Man. lot of fun. Now, most Marvel movies have like a certain level of humor to them, but Ant-Man, I think, is like literally the goofy brigade. Even like his not those wombats, his group of friends are just like they're not inept, but they are like goofy. All right, like driving around in that van, and they're all like ex-cons too, which I thought was hilarious when he's working in the Baskin Robbins, right?
Oh, Baskin Robbins always finds out.
Baskin Robbins don't play. And that whole, just him standing behind the counter when he's just like, would you like to try a tropical fruit blast? I'm just like, why is just him saying anything? Paul Rudd is just like, he's goofy.
Just so adorable. I loved him in any movie he's been in. He's just cute, funny, and goofball. Major goofball in this movie, but I mean, he's smart. He's not Tony Stark smart, but he's smart in his own right. And then at other moments, he's just a goofball and he's fangirling over, Captain America and meeting the other Avengers. So, yeah.
Oh, hey, I know you too. You're great.
So who are you supposed to be? I'm Ant-Man. What? You haven't heard of me? No, you wouldn't have heard of me.
But that just leads credence to the line he has that Falcon has in the Civil War, where he says, "Who are you? I'm Spider-Man." Everybody's got a gimmick.
Everybody's got a gimmick these days. We got guys that swing. We got guys that crawl. We got guys that do all kinds of stuff. Is there a version of the MCU just explained by that character? Because there should be.
There should be, yes.
If there isn't, there may be. I don't know. So anyway, this dude Iron Man was like, whoa. And so he goes into space, right? Yeah. That would be good. And quick, efficient. Like someone hasn't seen any of the Marvel movies. It's like, well, I don't want to spend I will watch all of them with you, but if we just want a quick crash course, here we go.
I don't need 22 movies all at once.
I want it, but I don't need it. Another, what was I gonna say? The Ant-Man. There's two Ant-Men essentially. There's Scott. He's the one that we're all familiar with, Scott Lang. But then there's Hank Pym, who's the guy who actually created the suit, the Pym particles. And in the comics, he was
the original Ant-Man in the comics.
Well, yeah, he's the original Ant-Man, which he also was in the MCU. But I was gonna say he also helped he was a way bigger part of like things like Ultron. Like he's the creator of Ultron, Hank Pym is. Stark helped, but he was much more involved. And so it was interesting that they didn't bring him in for that, like they could have in the MCU. But also since they were more giving the reins to Scott's Ant-Man, and since the Ultron thing was happening now in Scott's day as opposed to in Hank Pym's day, I guess it kind of makes sense with the version of things that they were telling. But it would have been cool to see Hank Pym being involved with the Ultron thing with Banner and Iron Man. But, that's just the way that these movies ended up coming out. Didn't get to do that. Hank Pym was also, people talk about Tony Stark as being a jerk and being arrogant and being an alcoholic. Hank Pym is an alcoholic wife beater. Like, it's serious in the comics. In the MCU, he still is there, like portraying him as kind of mean. He punches that dude in the face the one time, but he's a superhero, so you're gonna punch people in the face. But him with his daughter, he's very strict and whatnot. But in the comics, he was a drunk wife beating. He went off his rocker sometimes, doing stuff like that. Yeah, and I think that would have been a cooler side of him to show. They kind of completely reversed that. Yeah, they made him strict and they made him miss his wife. And I'm like, I bet she doesn't miss you.
I was gonna say you had to have the whole part with Janet in there, and if he was a wife beater, we wouldn't have had a second movie. Because the second movie was them rescuing Janet, basically.
And the third, because what they're going to do with her probably, and since she's the one who's been trapped in tiny world, quantum
realm.
Yeah, well, the next movie is called Quantum Mania, so I can only imagine she's going to have something to do with that. So we'll see. But yeah, the whole her being gone thing, and that explains why he's in such a foul mood all the time, is because he lost his wife. It's a different take on the character, and I think it would have been harder for them to portray him as the wife beater, especially when you have so many kids that are coming into this. Not that kids don't read comics too, but in the story that they're attempting to tell here, it's not necessarily. Plus, there could always be a variant of him. Rowdy Michael Douglas.
Oh yeah. Multiverse. That's
that, Janet, you bitch. Yeah, he gets mean. It's
Janet's caught in the quantum realm. Good. I don't have to look at her anymore.
Better not make my dinner late. Bah! Or whatever people beat their wives for. I don't know. Probably more of an underlying reason than whatever they. Sure, it's not just because dinner was late and you're stuck in the quantum realm. Really got to make an effort to get my wife back so I can show her who's boss. Anyway, Hank Pym, what a guy. And so his daughter also becomes the Wasp, which we have Ant-Man and the Wasp, and she's just better at everything than Ant-Man while he's a clumsy goof. The only thing she can't do is get huge, which he's not even great at this point.
But he can't fly, so
yeah, he can't fly. He's like, you put wings on hers and blasters and stuff. How come I don't have that? Yeah, because I don't trust you, Scott. You're an idiot. It's usually how they treat him. He's like, he's not an idiot. That's the whole thing in the background, is he became a criminal just because he got pissed off that the people he was working for were greedy, and so he scienced them. Yeah. And basically hacked their, but he's intelligent, and he's actually, if you see, even in the first Ant-Man, he's working on repairing the belt. So he's not just wearing the suit. He actually does understand at least enough to like fix it if things go wrong, or the workings of it. But then he gets told by Hank, it's like, oh, by the way, if you've meddle with that, you're gonna shrink forever until you like enter this realm of absolute insanity and then you'll never escape, and this horrible darkness. And he's just like, yeah, no, we'll probably just leave that alone. Yeah,
but ain't broke, don't fix it.
But and I mean, that was really touched on too in Endgame too, when he came into Endgame and he was like, does anybody know anything about quantum mechanics and how things work? And he had a grasp and an understanding of
more so than anyone else.
You wouldn't think it because it's Paul Rudd and he's goofy and he's silly, but he's actually goofy and silly, but he knows a lot of stuff too.
Mm-hmm. And now he knows magic.
Yeah,
close-up magic, which I thought was really funny because that one agent or whatever who then starts trying to learn magic. And then in WandaVision, he gets out of his cuffs. He does the cuff escape, and it's like, that's because he learned how to do magic.
That was in the movie.
It's a connection. It's an MCU connection. He's doing magic. It's Mephisto. Mephisto confirmed yet again. Look out, everybody.
Are you saying that Agent Wu is Mephisto?
Sure, why not?
Okay. I'll buy it.
Watch it turn out to be true. I don't think so. He's too. I mean, unless he's doing a real good job.
We said it here first.
Yeah. And it's all because he learned how to do magic. Magic, it's bad. Just like Doctor Strange. Well, that'll be interesting to see. We'll talk about Doctor Strange more at the end. I'm sure the more we talk about the quantum realm and things like that. Multiversal war. Because that all is starting to now come together. We were introduced to that kind of stuff in Loki and partially in WandaVision, but Loki really at the very last episode when He Who Remains is like, yes, I'm one of many variants. There are tons of variants out there in the multiverse, but I stopped the multiversal war. But if you let it happen, then there's going to be this whole thing, like a shitstorm of amazing proportions, a multiversal
Multiverse of madness, maybe.
Yeah, multiverse of madness. And so he is connected to that. He's connected to the multiverse angle of things and to the quantum realm side of things, because of and a lot of people are suggesting that the time variance authority actually exists in a quantum state or in a quantum realm type of place, because when you look at that and it's like, what? When they show the city of the time people, it would make sense because, time acts differently in the quantum realm. Maybe they just found a area where it doesn't pass at all. Like when you're in this area, you're outside of time. It's kind of like Kang's Palace almost. Mm-hmm. Something like that. Or He Who Remains Palace.
Yes.
Don't want to get those confused. I'll have nerds ranting at me. That wasn't Kang. That was He Who Remains. And I'm just like, okay, I know. Take it easy. I get it. Okay. It's just easier to say Kang than He Who Remains. It's a matter of syllables, people. I have finite time because I don't exist in Kang's palace. I know He Who Remains palace. Look, now we're in a loop. Okay. Let's get out of this.
It's kind of like Harry Potter with
somebody stabbed me in the chest.
Be named instead of saying Voldemort.
Well, that also, if you say the name Voldemort, it would attract his presence to you because there's a spell.
That was only in the last.
That was only in the last one. That's true. But hey, if that was happening during the original's time when he was first around and you said his name and then he showed up and killed your family, I'm pretty sure people would just get to stop saying it. No, if you say his name, he shows up and he kills your family. I'm not. No. That's not true. Biggie Smalls. Oh gosh.
Where's that clip?
Moldy butt. I don't have just anything that springs to mind. I wish I did. If I could hook my brain up to this computer and make that happen, I'd probably do
it. I'd do it.
I'd probably do it. How invasive is the surgery? I mean, 20 years ago, I'd have cables running out of my skull into the screen. Nowadays, it's like you get a chip behind your ear. It's like, yeah, blink and you change your channel. So careful with that. It's like, why do I have channels on my computer? I don't know. These are the questions. But so anyway, Ant-Man. I always think, out of all the science and stuff that they present in these movies, and for the most part, you're just like, it's a comic book movie. They say that this is a quantum thingy, then that's fine, whatever. For the most part, it's fine. But I gotta say, I really get bothered by their explanation of the Ant-Man science and how that all works.
Because it only works when absolutely necessary. When it's necessary for the story, that's when it works.
It doesn't make, but it's like, okay, so here's the thing. The molecules, it changes the space between the molecules. So your strength doesn't change. But also if you then got bigger, isn't that just changing the space between the molecules? So you wouldn't suddenly be that much stronger. Like where if you punched the side of a plane or something, you would still only have.
It would hurt. It would be like
you wouldn't just walk through it. And so it would be your weight to spread out more. And actually, you'd probably get caught in the wind and go because you don't have enough actual mass for something that size. You'd be like sail. So they just say, oh, yeah, this changes the space between molecules. It's like, then how, when you get tiny, so it doesn't make any sense to me. And then I just have to go, forget it. It's a comic book thing. And then just let them do it. Just let them do it.
You didn't think it was amazing that Hank was carrying around a tank in his pocket?
Yeah, and I'm just
no weight to it.
So shouldn't that be the weight of a tank? Exactly.
Or the fact that they were hauling around a Hot Wheels carrying case
full of cars,
full of cars.
And so you're just like, you got to let that stuff go. Or when the Thomas the Tank Engine, So they're, first of all, when they're standing on the track and it hits him, it just falls off because it's just a toy and he still has the mass of a man, right? Sure. And then it gets huge and it flies through a window and crashes into the street and it's crushes a cop car. And I'm like, It should still just weigh the same as a toy, though, right?
It should bounce off the wall.
How come when things get bigger, they suddenly, what is the science? No, the Iron Man thing I get. It shoots blasts out, and that powers it. It's not a weapon, it's a flight stabilizer. And then he blows it through a glass door, and it's like, well, I mean, if you shot it at someone, it could be, used as a weapon. So yeah, I get that though, but that's how he flies, and it's a suit of metal, and that covers him. Great, we can whatever. The Ant-Man thing is like, we're not even trying. It's like so how does it work? It's like, well, when you're small, you're strong. And then when you get big, you're also strong. But then when you're normal size, I guess you're strong.
What was
Sorry.
that?
She's got a cat.
No, the cat had nothing to do with it.
Then there's no excuse for you, Debbie.
There never is.
It sounded like
I just lost my lighting, that's all.
Krakow!
Yes, Mr. Stark.
Give me a fat beat to beat my buddy's chest.
And I don't know, it might have been cooler to see, but I do. So Hank Pym has this in the MCU. I'm not sure as much if it's also in the comics. I know they work together on some stuff like Ultron, and they respected each other just because they're men of science. But in the MCU, Hank Pym is like, Tony Stark is an idiot, and he's a loser, and the Avengers, forget them. They're probably too busy dropping cities on people. And it's like, why does everyone keep thinking that like that was their plan, was to drop the city on people? Like that wasn't. They saved the people that were in the city that was gonna and they kept that city. Now, yes, Ultron was all them, but still, come on. But he talks about Tony Stark, and he's like, the Pym particle is not some toy like the Iron Man suit, and he literally just and people are calling the Iron Man suit the greatest technological advance in. He like privatized world peace with that suit. And here Hank Pym is like, that's child's play. That's nothing. Who cares? I can shrink things. Look at these shrinky dinks. They started out. This is a $1 billion idea.
Well, that and the fact that I don't think he liked the majority of people there at S.H.I.E.L.D., especially Howard Stark and whoever that other guy was that he knocked out there.
I don't really think I've seen him getting along with
anybody,
a person,
ever.
Yeah, human. The ants. He's always cool with the ants, but that's him mind controlling them to do stuff. So he would like that relationship.
Yeah, of course.
And he doesn't even call their numbers. They're ants. There's too many of them. They don't all have names. I'm gonna call you Anthony. Anthony, no. That's so good. And the little crazies.
Hey, Grant.
Oh, Ant.
Great name. Perfect name.
You did it, Grant. You did it.
Full explanation needed from Pym on the microphone. Maybe they'll say something else in the quantum realm, but it'll probably just be like, oh, we've been quantum entangled. What's that mean? We're covered in quantum.
Okay.
Look out. And whatever happened, like Janet Van Dyne at the end of the second one, she could like cure that chick. So what was that one chick's name?
Ghost.
I was thinking Phantom or something like that, but Ghost. Yeah. So she could basically phase through things, which Shadowcat did it better, bring in the mutants, but it was an interesting enemy because I didn't know, like, when going into Ant-Man 2, I was like, who does Ant-Man fight? The first one I get it was like a guy in a yellow jacket. Yeah, another. So I was like, is this going to be another insect? It was like Ghost of what? The beetle ghost, the spider ghost, not just Ghost. So I don't know the Ant-Man villains, but and it was just kind of like it didn't have anything to do with the larger MCU at all, really. Other than the very end when they go into the quantum realm, and that's huge implications. But
well, and I mean, just it didn't have anything to do with the MCU, but at least it's still tied to. I I mean, you had the whole thing of he's under house arrest. Why is he under house arrest? Because of the events of Civil War, So,
yep.
At least it was all still tied together. I like the bit when they went to go talk to what's his name, Lawrence Fishburne.
Yep.
He's like, "Oh yeah, we were talking about getting big," and he's like, "Yeah, how big did you get?"
That was good.
Like 20 feet. Oh really? I did 30. 30? Wow. They're comparing sizes. That's what they're doing.
I know. It's
what men do.
I'm not going to be the yardstick in your dick measuring contest. You say yardstick? Okay.
Go ahead.
I was just going to read the comment from Jeff that says, I love the Ant-Man films, but the only character more useless in terms of power is Hawkeye.
Well, I was going to agree because
go ahead.
Scott's basically Hawkeye, just a funnier, goofier version. I mean, because really, he has no superpowers outside of the suit. Well, I guess Tony.
Well, neither does Tony. I mean, come on.
He's humble, though. He's not a egomaniac.
Well, and neither does
full of himself.
What's her name? Widow.
Or Falcon.
Yeah. They all rely on tech. That's what makes them super.
Why can't you guys get shot with a super soldier serum by a Nazi or guy who's just German, but they were fighting Nazis.
Or beef.
Not every German person's a Nazi.
Or be from another planet.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
That's an easy one. Or jump into a vat of nuclear waste.
Anything, really. Just go to a vat factory and find one that's
find a vat and jump in. You get superpowers.
I got the powers of a vat. I can hold large amounts of viscous liquid.
Is that like going to the dentist and when the dentist says, okay, we're going to take some x-rays of your teeth, you're going, oh, give me powers. Shoot me with those x-rays. I want the power.
Yeah, and the dentist's like, don't worry, this is perfectly harmless. It's like, then why are you standing over there with a lead apron on? That's because I do this all day. All right, you're about to leave. I'm going to keep having x-rays bounce around.
I just said it was harmless. I meant for me. I didn't mean for you.
This is totally harmless for me.
It's just going to hurt you a lot more than it's going to hurt me.
No, don't you mean that the other way around? I do not.
No. Sorry.
I meant exactly what I said, actually. Oh, man. Yeah, we love making fun of Hawkeye on this channel. So, well, I do anyway. Because he's just not. He's fighting aliens with
you can't
bow and arrow.
You can't sit there and say that you did not gain a new level of respect for Hawkeye after seeing the Hawkeye series on Disney Plus. It may not have been much more respect, but at least there was some.
I don't know. I still gotta feel the same way. Like, I liked it. I'm not saying he's not worthless, but if you're like stacking, like who?
Oh yeah.
And even then, like he had a Pym arrow. One of the things that was impressive was like something that someone else did.
But he makes all of his arrows, so that's pretty impressive.
Well, he doesn't. I mean, yeah, but Tony made his suit. I guess for making his own arrows, does that make him better than Ant-Man, who just uses someone else's suit?
Ooh, yeah.
But Ant-Man obviously is more powerful because he can turn into a. Well, I guess if he shot him with a Pym arrow, he could just reduce his size back. Or, oh no, now he's even twice as large as he just was. This is backfired. Greatest post-credit ever. Which one?
Which
one?
What
are we talking about?
Which one, John? Which one? It's John Biscardi.
Hopefully a Wasp spinoff. Origins, maybe. Well, was his wife the Wasp? Really? She had like an Ant-Man suit with wings, though, so she was kind of like the first version of the Wasp.
Yeah, I think they just improved upon her.
They might explain more what was happening to her while she was in the quantum realm, because I mean, like, she lived there. Like, what did you eat? I'm looking around, it's all blobs.
Exactly.
Like,
what did you blobs?
Eat? Yeah, I found some blobs. Like, I've been tripping hard for like 30 years. Okay. Imagine if every meal you ate was magic mushrooms. I'm just inhaling all of this. What is that? That's floating by us right now. I eat that. That's what I eat. You know, it's crazy. Oh, I guess I saw a different Hawkeye show than Dave. I think he's talking about the Hawkeye post-credit scene.
Actually, no. If you go to the next comment down, he says
the ashes.
When at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, when he goes into the quantum realm and says, "Okay, I'm ready to come out," and it pans back, and it's the ashes. It's that yes, John. I will agree with you. That was
pretty great. Yeah,
that was a pretty amazing.
And then he's stuck in the quantum. And because that movie, that was like one of the only ones that came out in between
the two movies, yeah,
Infinity War and Endgame. And because Ant-Man wasn't in Endgame, that was part of the.
Sir, there was another one too,
no,
right? Captain Marvel came out in between.
No, Civil War
was in between.
What? No,
Civil War in between Infinity War and Endgame.
No,
Debbie?
No.
Then what are you saying?
I'm saying it was Ant-Man, then Civil War.
I'm saying Ant-Man 2 was one of the only movies in between Infinity War and Endgame.
That one and Captain Marvel, I think, were the only two.
I'm lost.
I know. Can tell because you're talking about Civil War.
And honestly, Captain Marvel was released in between the two, but in the timeline, it didn't. That it's not.
Yeah, nothing happens in that because it's all taking place in like the 90s or whatever, and then she flies away. Meanwhile, Ant-Man, and of course, nothing in Ant-Man has anything until the ashes, and then it's like you're boned. You're stuck in the quantum realm now. At least he only had to stay there for 5 years instead of 30. But to him, he said it was like 5 minutes. So Janet clearly aged. That's the thing. It's like it wasn't 30 minutes for her. She's older now, and she has some
she was in there for a long time though, because didn't she jump in?
I said 30 years, but I said it also didn't. But for him, 5 years felt like 5 minutes.
It was 5 hours. 5 hours.
It felt like 5 hours. Fine. Then, but she doesn't look like only 30 hours have passed.
30 hours older.
She looks like 30 years of it. And I mean, she was still looking pretty good, especially for being with Michael Douglas. But
we need to quit questioning the science again, I think.
Probably. But it's just too much fun. I like to I want to know more. That's what I'm saying. Maybe we'll get more answers when in Quantumania we'll actually figure out they'll figure out how to, because they have a time machine now, essentially. Well, they built one, but the part of it was this quantum realm, which they're very much interested in harnessing the energy from that realm. So maybe now they'll realize or start to understand more of that realm. And Kang is supposed to show up for the first time in Quantumania. So that certainly is going to be connected to the bigger story. So it'll be very interesting to learn more about the quantum realm. What is it?
They would have to build a different,
because the van blew up?
The van got blown up, and then
they sent Captain
America back.
So they
rebuilt it.
Well, yeah. Whatever.
Like Debbie, you do not like it when people point stuff out. Woof! I guess you're right.
Everybody that was involved.
It's been a long Monday. Yeah. My brain can't function. Sure, Not that it ever did, but
Now we had this up here, and I wanted to get over to it. Hawkeye is Marvel's Batman. No. Hawkeye is Marvel's Green Arrow.
Yes.
Yeah, because Batman, here's the other thing, and Green Arrow too, also is better than Hawkeye because both him and Batman are billionaires. So they have billionaire to fall back on anytime they want. Hawkeye, I mean, yeah, it's cool that you were like a spy or whatever, but do you have $1 billion? Okay. Well.
Are you a billionaire?
Is there? Where's the Hawkeye mobile? It's like a taxi. It's like Deadpool getting places in a taxi. Like, yeah, you're not on billionaire tier at this point, okay? And they always will be, and that's why they're always just going to be bad, because that's always a line that those rich superheroes can use. Like, how did you do this? And he's just like, oh, I just bought it. Yeah, that's one of my superpowers. He's being rich.
I was gonna say, Justice League. So I'm super fast and she's super strong. What's your superpower? I'm rich.
He's like, I pay for everything. You know, when Superman flies through 3 buildings, I set up the trust that pays for those damages, or else we'd all be under arrest all the time. Oh man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you. Yeah. So Hawkeye, Marvel's Batman. No, Hawkeye's even lower than that. I just love to give Hawkeye crap. I mean, he's cool. He's got his bow and arrow. He's got the different stuff. I'm a fan of trick arrows, by the way. I always thought that the show Green Arrow on DC, there were not nearly enough trick arrows. And when they finally started using them, I was like, 5 seasons have gone by. Is he Green Arrow or not? Like, right, he's been Robin Hood for more than he's been. Like, the whole point is I want to see him shoot an arrow, and while it's in flight, the head explodes into a boxing glove that knocks people out. I legitimately want that in live action. I've not seen it, and I want it. I want it more than anything, because that's how he's introduced in the Justice League Unlimited. One of the first things he's doing, because there's a Justice League show and then Justice League Unlimited, where all the other characters join in. First episode, they're recruiting Green Arrow, and he's like, I don't want to be part of your space station super alien league of crazies. I'm down here fighting for the little guy. And then he's like in a supermarket or something, taking down some robbers, and he literally pulls an arrow back and then shoots it in the boxing glove and knocks this dude out. And I was like, that's a trick arrow. You don't expect that when somebody's shooting a bow and arrow at you. Did they get hit in the face with a boxing glove? Nah, that's fantastic. Okay, fair point. He just found his Robin. Well, and then in the case of Hawkeye, if we're comparing proteges, then Green Arrow has Red Arrow is his protege, who then later gets blown up and they think he's dead, but he gets a cybernetic arm from Lex Luthor and he changes his name to Arsenal. So again, cooler than Hawkeye. the sidekick of Green Arrow is cooler than Hawkeye. Man, Hawkeye has taken a beating in this episode about Ant-Man. Like,
and even just the name Arsenal. Arsenal sounds so much cooler than Hawkeye.
This guy doesn't have an arsenal. He is an arsenal. He is an arsenal. Scary, intimidating. Let's see. Have you seen the video that aligns the movies to overlap with the snap? Overlap with the snap. Overlap, don't get the clap. No, I haven't seen that. I'll have to look that up. Video that aligns movies to overlap with the snap. Yeah, it sounds interesting. Have to check that out. I think that catches us up with everything. If we're talking about Ant-Man still, the only thing we haven't really talked about him is an Endgame, and we did talk about that a little bit.
He was funny in Endgame. I think, like the Hulk, though, he really didn't get the justice that we needed to see. We needed to see Ant-Man in action as the big, and he's towering over everything, and he punches one of the snake things, and that's
one of the bias, and
Sorry.
And he saves Rhodey from dying and Rocket Raccoon. That's when he gets huge. He's down there running through the rubble.
And Hulk. I think Hulk was down there too, wasn't he?
I think so, because he was holding the thing up because Rhodey was, again, out of his suit. And so he couldn't walk. Because his legs got broken by Vision. The
guy that was on his team.
Yeah. Yeah, friendly fire.
He was too distracted.
Yeah, by
Wanda.
Hot redhead.
Wanda.
Well, he's just following orders.
I didn't know Ant-Man was, I think it was co-written by Paul.
Innocent men! They're just following orders.
I've been at the mercy of men just following orders. Never again.
Oh, bring the X-Men into the MCU. Come on.
Just do it.
I want to see it.
Love McAvoy.
I'm ready. let's see. Snappy, snappy, snap. I am the Ant-Man. Is that like
to the
I'm
wall,
a dude?
walrus? I'm the walrus.
I am the walrus.
Snappy, snappy, snap. Be cool to see Ant-Man appear in Doctor Strange too.
They can do everybody else is.
Yeah, everyone's coming to the party. And there's variants of everyone. There's just going to be an infinity mirror scene, and it's every character a million times in different reflections. And it's like,
I honestly, it wouldn't be bad if like it was a post-credit scene, just kind of like we had with what was it? It was Winter Soldier, the post-credit scene of the Winter Soldier, and they had him all tied up, and it was like, oh, I know a guy. And it turns out that was the scene from Civil War, or the scene at the end of Doctor Strange where he's talking to Thor and he's like, okay, your brother's here and he shouldn't be here, and if I help you find Odin, and that scene was in Ragnarok. So yes, I would like to see Ant-Man in the Doctor Strange movie, just as a like an end credit scene saying, okay, here comes Ant-Man, Quantumania.
Seems like an opportune time to bring up our Doctor Strange trailer. I'm not going to turn the sound on because that can lead to copyright situations and the stream shutting down. So try and remember what it sounded like. I might turn it on at some points, but this is the bit that was at the end of Spider-Man. So this is the Spider-Man end credit sequence, technically the first teaser trailer for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And you can see him there. He's wearing the Eye of Agamotto still. You can see there he's possibly getting married. So that was his... I have the next trailer too, but... So we can say it looks like the wedding that's happening is between him and Rachel McAdams.
He looks like he's in the audience.
It does.
I was going to say.
He looks off to the side and she's moving that way. And is that even...
And she's looking down. It's like she's avoiding his gaze too.
And is that even our Doctor Strange? Because it looks like he has more gray than like... Maybe not. I'm trying to remember. Because he has some. Let's see. Yeah, maybe it's the same amount. Yeah. But it could be even that's the event that makes him go evil Doctor Strange. There's other things that suggest that even this Doctor Strange, here he comes, talks to Wanda. There's one point where he like shoots snakes out of his arms, which is almost exactly like the power that evil Doctor Strange got when he ate some of those demons, was he could like shoot them out of his arms. So I'll try and pause it on that when it comes up. Right there, what he's saying is like, I didn't come to talk about Westview. What do you know about the multiverse? Crazy stuff. And I think it's coming up. Mordo, of course. And he starts saying, the thing that you don't understand is the greatest danger to our universe is you. Like right there. Okay. So at this point, he's shooting snakes out of his arm. I'll let it play through. See what I'm saying? And that's very similar to... And like, that's not something that we've seen him do before. Now, he does stuff all the time that we've never seen him do before. When he fights Thanos, I was just like, I didn't know you could do all that. It was crazy. He's doing the thing with the arms and the flowers and light whips.
Yep.
So there's definitely things he can do that we haven't seen before, but that is something that we actually have seen before, but from an evil version of him. So that is our initial view. And then, of course, this is the one that aired during the Super Bowl, and we had the longer version online. Some of the same stuff, some different stuff. And so when you see like the all the buildings and how they're kind of disintegrating, that's actually very reminiscent of also the What If episode when the world or his reality starts ending.
crumbling.
They're kind of like, breaking, sifting away in that blackness. It looks different, but also that was animated and this is live action. So that could be part of the reason that it doesn't look exactly the same. Because this looks more like just disintegrating and flying into space. The animated one was kind of like darkness was gooing up and
there was what's her name coming out with out of the wedding dress. She was looking right there, looking up at the sky.
I think maybe she was married to that black guy.
I was gonna say she married
the groom,
because he's in the tux and he's got the
boutonniere.
Thank you, the boutonniere, and I knew what it was. I just couldn't say it. He's got a flower in his jacket.
It's a corsage. That's the lady version. And then we have this horned beast. I don't know.
The Minotaur.
Cowman. Minotaur Man. You must face the Minotaur Man and make it through his mighty maze. Venture Brothers? No? Okay. Let's just... I'll risk a little bit more sound here.
We should tell him the truth.
I guess we could talk about that.
Okay.
Because
you read the article, right? Did I say
yes.
So? Okay.
Because he came out, right. Why don't you explain it to the people?
Okay, so Patrick Stewart came out and he said, I didn't do that voice. People have been imitating my voice for a long time. Ever since I've, started. In fact, I think he said ever since I've started doing Shakespeare on the stage, people have been imitating my voice. So that is not my voice. But Andrew Garfield also said, no, I'm not in the new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just
And Ryan Reynolds just said he's not in the new Deadpool, or he's not in the new Deadpool movie. That'd be hilarious. He's not in the new Doctor Strange movie, but the same thing. Andrew Garfield swore up and down. Literally, he was like,
look, I'm not
using the F word.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm not in
it.
He
was in it. He was very much in it. So you can't trust anything.
Ryan looked super nervous during that interview where he was, the guy just came out and asked him and he was like, well, I'm not supposed to talk about that. But, he kind of gets all flustered and he's, but I'm not in the movie. Blah,
he's a
blah,
good
blah.
actor. I was acting. Okay, we got Johnny Lynch.
Oh,
I am the monarch!
There's your Venture Brothers.
He got my Venture Brothers. Oh, mighty monarch. Oh, you're so attractive. It's me, Dr. Girlfriend. Show is amazing. Let's see. Minotaur, release the beast. Oh, that's what you're actually talking about. Speaking of Paul Rudd, there's a movie called Role Models that he's in with Sean William Scott, where they both are sentenced. They go to court and they have to be like part of a Big Brother program to these kids. And McLovin, the kid who plays McLovin from Superbad, is one of the kids. And it's a hilarious movie. I just rewatched it, but it came out in like a while, like 15 years ago. I don't know. But Paul Rudd's in it, and what they work for like a Red Bull company, but they drive around this giant truck that it's Minotaur, release the beast, instead of like Red Bull gives you wings. So yeah, Minotaur, Paul Rudd, it's all coming together. Look at that. That was awesome. Surprised Sam Raimi back in the Marvel Universe.
That was one of the things that stuck out to Luke, was that he was like, oh, I can't. Oh, it's Sam Raimi. Oh, he did the Spider-Man movie.
Oops. Sorry. Yeah. I think that actually is one of the reasons I'm excited for this film, is that Sam Raimi is a part of it. And given how they just did Spider-Man, I'm thinking that this movie is going to be crazy amazing. If I can...
Well, I think
phrase it thusly.
I think one of the things that will make this craze amazing is the fact that, okay, so we've had Wanda, we've had Loki, we've had all of this Spider-Man movie with all the different multiverses, and I'm thinking people are looking at this one saying, okay, this is where a lot of the questions are going to be answered. this is where we're going to get what we need for. Now, I'm not saying that they are going to, Debbie. I see you shaking your head. No,
I'm just saying, no, that's wrong.
But I'm just saying, this is what a lot of people are going to be looking at going, oh, I've got to go see this movie because I've seen all the rest of this story. And this will answer a lot of the questions. And it might answer some of them. I agree.
Yeah, it might answer some, but this is the start of the...
it's going to raise a lot of questions, too.
It'll raise
chaos, black magic, and...
We'll have to get...
the horror...
Wait a minute.
horror stories.
The He Who Remains story.
Is Namor supposed to be in this?
I've heard rumors.
Because he was also, he was on the Illuminati, if that's what that chamber is, and that's what everyone is theorizing that it is, especially what with that sounding a hell of a lot like Professor X. What do they call you? Wheels? Yeah.
Although
Brilliant.
I will say this, because I was looking at I had to go look at the Illuminati, and somebody posted something of this. Are they going to bring Chris Evans back? Because apparently Captain America's on the Illuminati as well.
Well, there's been different members.
Yeah, and with it being the multiverse, it could be a whole totally different, maybe.
And that's why it could be Captain
Illuminati.
Britain.
We
Captain
don't know.
Britain, yeah.
People have been saying that too. And maybe even more X-Men.
You think the studio would throw us a bone? They can't just dust off one of the famous X-Men? How about that Potts with the giant pigeon wings? What do those do anyway, huh? Carry him 3 feet off the ground to snatch up the nearest muffin crumb? No.
Let's bring him back.
Yeah, let's get Deadpool in it. I don't think he's going to be in it, but I'd be perfectly happy to see him in it.
Al.
God, I miss cocaine.
Her. Fourth wall break inside a fourth wall break. That's like 16 walls.
That's like the greatest line in those movies. Both of them.
You remind me of my wife.
I'm sorry?
I said you remind me.
No, I'm sorry that you said that while making heavy eye contact and applying lip balm.
No, I'm sorry, the fanny pack line. Fanny pack line.
Is that a fanny pack? I used to have one of those in 1990. Never.
Retrieving something from my utility bag.
It's a goddamn fanny pack, and you know it, you sick son of a bitch. The difference is night and day.
The difference is night and day.
Beautiful.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm ready for the X-Men to be a part of the MCU. There's so much potential there. So many fan favorites in the X-Men. Like Magneto, Wolverine, like just those two alone.
Rogue
is a huge... Everyone wants that because they were like, it's time for Captain Marvel to die, or at least whatever.
Well,
get touched by Rogue, and then Rogue gets her powers, and we get the MCU Rogue, or the Marvel Rogue, as opposed to the X-Men Rogue, which we got in the X-Men films, because they couldn't use Captain Marvel for those, because they only had the rights to the X-Men, so they didn't have a chance to give her, because Rogue only gets to fly and do all that other crazy stuff she can do because she stole the powers of Captain Marvel, and now we can have that happen.
Yes, I want a Rogue that we had back in the 90s with the X-Men cartoon show that you could wake up on Saturday morning and watch the X-Men. I want that Rogue. I want an not older, but I want a grown, mature woman Rogue.
Dating Gambit.
Gambit.
Yes, let's bring Gambit.
However you want to do it, I don't care. I don't want the little putsy teenager Rogue.
It's kind of actually amazing how often she dates, considering her condition. I think they'll make an exception to Steve's involvement in the Illuminati. Chris Evans is done, says Johnny. I could see him coming back for a cameo thing. If it doesn't take much, I could see him doing that, especially since he was willing to do that kind of stuff with like Loki.
The Thor Dark World.
Yeah.
One line, one scene.
Yeah, like one quick thing like that. I think he'd be down for that. And he was even in that Ryan Reynolds new movie.
Free Guy.
Yeah, Free Guy. Yes.
What the shit?
Free Guy.
I think that's supposed to be on Disney Plus here pretty soon.
That's not surprising. I like even the previews for that. It's narrated by Ryan Reynolds, and he's like, comes a movie that looks like it was bought off in the Fox fire sale. And like, And it's Disney, and he's like, from the studio that brought you Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and The Lion King. Twice.
Yeah.
Several times.
Yeah. Wade, I'd go with you, but I don't want to. Fantastic, man. Yeah, I'd be totally down to see some Deadpool. Oh, I just love Deadpool, though.
Sorry I'm late. I was fighting a caped badass. But then I discovered his mom is named Martha.
His name is named Martha, too. I need to fix that one. That one doesn't work. And I forget it until I start playing it. And then I'm like, oh, no, it's going to cut off.
Power dampening collar. Shuts down all mutant abilities. You can't get it off unless you've got a grenade.
Huh. Could have used one of those in the first act. They keep a monster in the basement. Right next to a huge steaming bowl of foreshadowing.
This guy, Cable, he's very short, 5'11", not like in the comics. And if we succeed, we all go home early.
So you use a device to slide through time. I got 2 charges, one to get me here, one to get me home.
Well, that's just lazy writing.
I would be fine with seeing they've really turned up the heat by even faking a Professor X, whether or not, I mean, that's clearly who it was meant to sound like. Even
that's your boner alert. That's a boner alert.
Well, we'll see if it actually is, but I feel like we could give it a preempt.
What if this is like it is Professor X, but we don't want to reveal who is playing Professor X. We've got somebody completely new, completely different playing Professor X. So in order to throw everybody, we're going to use the voice of Patrick Stewart to just kind of throw everybody off. And and when the no, I'm not even saying McAvoy. I'm just saying
but I want McAvoy.
I know you do, but we don't always get what we want. But if you try sometimes, you might just find you get what you need. So anyway, maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe there is maybe that is Professor X, but it's not Stewart and it's not McAvoy. It's somebody completely different, and they're just using Stewart's voice to throw everybody off and to keep the secret alive. You know, who is the new Professor X? Who would you get to play him?
A bald guy.
Obviously. A bald guy in a wheelchair.
What if we get him to shave his head? No, it's not authentic. I actually just came across this is Doctor Strange 2 in a nutshell.
My God, is it possible? It must be possible. It's happening. By the way, what's happening?
Yep. That's basically the whole movie right there.
Yep.
Ain't no straight dumbass. Did the rapture come? I can't recall. Oh, in fact, I can recall, and it didn't, and you suck.
And we know how Marvel likes to mislead in the trailers, so
yeah.
Forget the trailers. How about the shows? WandaVision. Everybody was X-Men. Woo! Oh, what that Ralph Boner?
Yeah, that was the biggest. I mean, so much so that we literally created a graphic for it. You know it's serious when they made a graphic just for that. And by they, I mean me. But it's serious. Ryan Reynolds is Professor X. That would be funny to have him.
That would be hilarious.
Oh, I can just hear the theater just go wild.
Maybe it's going to be a computer enhanced Patrick Stewart that looks younger.
I hope they do a better job than they did in the X-Men films. Ugh.
Wolverine, X-Men Origins.
Gosh.
Yeah, rough stuff.
With this collar on, my superpower is just unbridled cancer. Give me a bow and arrow, I'm basically Hawkeye.
I was looking for that earlier.
There it is.
I couldn't find it. There it is. right near the top.
We needed that when we were talking about Hawkeye.
I know. You have no idea. I was scrolling. I was looking for it. It was not where I expected. It was not with the other Deadpool clips. But actually, because I was just looking for another Deadpool clip of him wheeling around in the chair, but I don't have that one. Unless it's also. So I was like, what if Ryan Reynolds was Deadpool? I was like, oh, that clip would be perfect when he's in, but no, I don't have it. I have this.
Is that your bird? I'm confused. You said it wasn't, but now it looks like you're best of pals. You love that bird, don't you? You know what? Take the bird.
You love that bird.
And take his shoes. What the crap good did take his shoes?
Take his shoes. Take his shoes, too.
What?
Did you like that? I just took your stuff. He's trying to make a point. Yeah.
Do you speak English? Because I can get a translator. I don't know. Have you been understanding everything I'm saying?
Very good, man.
Very good, man.
Very good.
You dig what I'm getting at here?
Слишком много говоришь.
I don't know if you know this, but I don't speak Russian!
Each set of drones is communicating in its own unique language.
We'll choose one and focus on that.
Have you tried Russian? Why don't you try Russian?
He always tries to come off as intimidating, and he just can't.
I don't speak Russian. Oh, I hope to God that they get him back for Armor Wars.
How are you supposed to get a head in there? Jack, could you put your head in there? No. Try to put your head in there. No, go ahead. Try to put your head in there. See, Ivan, he can't put his head in there. That's not a helmet. It's a head. Please now go away. Thank you.
Listen, we gotta get these bitches out of here.
And you tell me who's behind this. Who's behind this?
You know what? Until you played that clip, I never noticed him saying that. We gotta get these bitches out of here.
It's like,
he had that butt kicking coming.
Yes, he did. It's so good. I love it. I love it, dude. I didn't even notice it. I think it was when I was getting clips for us talking about Iron Man 2. I was looking for stuff that he was saying around that point, and when I played that back, I was like, "Dang, yeah, dude." Mark Strong from Kingsman Secret Service for Xavier. I know Mark Strong. He also played the villain in the Sherlock Holmes.
Which one?
The Iron Man Sherlock. The first one.
Well, there was two of them. It was
the
first one.
The first one.
Game of Shadows or whatever.
Yeah. He's a bad guy in that. And he's in a bunch of other stuff. But Mark Strong, that'd be solid. I'm used to seeing him play villains, though. That would be interesting to see him. Reynolds is, I don't think the general public would be ready for Ryan Reynolds as Professor X. I don't think I would actually legitimately be ready for that.
Oh, there's the request.
We got a request for it.
We have a request coming in. Look at this.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
What I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. The press is about to run into another problem. They are about to run out of ink. Nobody cheers. All right, get this podium
everybody.
out of here.
No, there was like the.
There's like a scattered, like a.
Okay, all right.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Those were the guys he had planted in the audience.
That's better than some cheerleaders, huh? Oh, good stuff. Close. Anyway, I think that just about does it for us here today. We have made it past an hour, and we've talked all about Ant-Man that I think we had planned to. We moved on quite thoroughly to other things.
We had Deadpool and Justin Hammer. And
all I can say is at
Hawkeye.
least it was MCU related this time, because I've done much worse. We're not even talking about movies anymore. What's happening? No. All right. So success, I would say. Yes, success. Anything else, you guys, before we head out for the night? Anything you want to plug?
Just Thursday night. Come see us at the Cantina Happy Hour.
Thursday night Cantina Happy Hour. What are you talking about on
Empire.
Thursday?
Empire. In fact, I was working yesterday, and I've got a whole new set of clips for Empire Strikes Back. I'm anxious to get them up. So come check us out. Thursday night, 8:30 Central. And this time we'll be not only on YouTube, but we'll be on Facebook Live and Twitter as well.
Facebook Live and Twitter as well as YouTube. That's like all the places.
That's like everywhere we need to be.
You could find them. All right. And also don't forget, if you look in the description of this video, you can find the link to enter in the Lego giveaway. Geek News Now is giving away a Lego Razor Crest ship. You can enter to win by following the link in the description or by going to the Geek News Now Facebook page. It is the first thing that will pop up if you go scroll down their updates or whatever section. It's pinned to the top. So it is easy to enter. There are many different ways to enter, so you can enter more than once. I wish you the best of luck. If Justin is a hammer, is Thor worthy to lift him? I don't know if the same requirements are on lifting that hammer, you know. Cheers, guys. Appreciate the banner. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it, and we'll be back next Monday at 9:30 to talk about something MCU related. That's all I can guarantee at this point. We will see you then. Adios.
Shit! Language. Wait a second. No one else is going to deal with the fact that Cap just said language? Just slipped out.
Find the scepter.
And for gosh sake, watch your language. That's not going away anytime soon. You bet your ass.
Steve, you said a bad language word.
Did you tell everyone about that?
The handle's imprinted. Out with the platinum bastard.
Steve doesn't like that kind of talk.
You know what, Romanoff? Fury, you son of a bitch.